Hello there, everybody. Germ here. Just wanted to let you all know, if you want to support the show, if you want to make sure you stay in tune with all the new updates that we got going on, make sure you go and check out my website, kineticaesthetic.net. On that site, you can find a whole bunch of stuff related to the show. You can find a whole bunch of just little blog posts on all my episodes when they drop. You can use that to stay in tune, so make sure you never miss anything that I release. You can also find some merch that I got going on. Right now, I just got some necklaces going on. There's some hot shit. You should go check it out. But if you want to stay in tune, like I said, just make sure you go and check out kineticaesthetic.net. Once again, that is kineticaesthetic.net. This is your boy Germ saying, I appreciate you for doing it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Mr. and the ladies. I am Germ. I am the host of this show. I am what they would like to call the hostess with the mostest. And if you don't know, I'm going to let you know right now, you're tuned into Kinetic Aesthetic. Now, on this show, we have a little segment that we like to do on Wednesdays. That's right, I think you should know what it's called by now, MRW. And if you don't know what it means, let me break it down for you. That means it's a Media Review Wednesday. And this week's focus is going to be focused Young Thug. He blessed us with so much fun a couple years ago, had the banger Hot on there with Gunna. He gave us so much good music all over these years, and it feels like he's just now hitting his peak in terms of his quality and in terms of his popularity. That is why I'm going to tell y'all right now, without spoiling too much of what I'm going to say in my review, this is an album worth listening to. This is an album y'all need to go and check out, and if you don't do anything else, just listen to my favorite song on this album. I'm gonna let y'all know what it is in the actual review, but just listen to that. Now, I don't want to spend too much time talking on this. Y'all know how I am with my intros, sweet and to the point, and short. So without further ado, let's get this ball rolling. Let's talk about Punk by Young Thug. Let's go. Now, if I'm being completely honest, I really don't know what it is I expected when I first put on Punk. I knew that this was Young Thug's second real, major release, I guess, studio album. He's had a whole bunch of mixtapes, whole bunch of just compilation tapes and just collab tapes ever since he first got in the game, and this was like years ago. But So Much Fun was the first real studio album that really felt like, okay, this is an album. So after the success that he had with that, after all the heat that we had on that album, I was admittedly a little skeptical if he could follow it up with something that was going to be at best just as good. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I am happy to say he shut me up. I have no more doubt. There's nothing left to say about Thug's impact as a commercial artist. He's made this album start to finish great. And y'all know one thing about me, I have really literally only been reviewing things that I liked. There's only been about maybe one or two things that I've reviewed so far on this entire podcast that have actually been, that I've had majority negative things to say about. So I know it can seem like I just sort of hype a lot of shit up. This is not just me hyping some shit up. This is literally this is just a great album. This is good start to finish. And for a mainstream artist like Thug, it's weird to say that because like I was saying earlier, Thug was not always mainstream. It took a while for him to really reach this point. With all the ways he's influenced just artists that have gotten bigger than he is commercially, it's nice to see that even that he's finally made it and that he's really solidified himself with this album. All the features, it was well put together. There's so many different songs, and this is an album that feels really personal. Literally, right once you start off with the album with Die Slow, he's not even rapping for a good part of the song. He's literally just talking, just telling a story about his personal life, about him and his family, and it's that type of stuff. It feels like So Much Fun was him just establishing himself, you know, finally like making sure that this is the sound that's going to really make him a commercial juggernaut. And this album is him just, this is him. And I actually talked to one of my friends about it. So I got to give him a big shout out for, you know, putting it into this type of wording for me. On this album, Young Thug feels free. It feels like he's just sort of, you know, he's not necessarily trying as hard as he might have tried on So Much Fun, you know, to really like have something that sticks. It's like, this time I know y'all, I know what's gonna stick for y'all, so I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna play with that sound, and I'm just gonna, you know, I'm just gonna go and I'm just gonna drop some hot shit on it. And that's what he does, like the entire album. So far, and before I was just gonna go on a rant about a whole bunch of stuff other than the music itself. So let me get back to that. My favorite song so far, Stressed with J. Cole and T. Shine. Like I said, I like the intro with Die Slow. Stupid / Asking, good song. Hilarious song, actually. Real, Recognize Real. Living It Up with Post Malone and A$AP Rocky. A$AP Rocky had a very nice verse on there to me. He's been really coming through this year just with a lot of guest features and everything. He's hit or miss because A$AP Rocky has gotten to the point where he doesn't necessarily care about trying to impress anybody. He's just gonna drop something that he thinks is hot, and I respect him for that. And he did his thing on this song. Scoliosis, Bubbly with Drake and Travis Scott. That one's gonna be a jam. It's Way Too Sexy. Honestly, is probably overshadowing how big that song should be, if we're being honest. Faces, my favorite song on this album, Dropping Jewels. It was hard for me to choose between that and the last song, which I'm gonna talk about in a second, but that one is just crazy. The jazz influence, the way he just flowed on the beat like water, that is the best song. If you don't listen to any other song on Punk, listen to that one. Hate the Game, a beautiful song. I don't know what it is about this year, but for me, a lot of these artists are just making back heavy albums. Like the first part of it is either going to be just, you know what, this is all right, or this is just sort of a slog to get through. Once you get to that second half of these albums, it's like all of them are just like heat. It's just like it's like a slow burn. It's actually like a real slow burn. I think that's a proper way to say that. So big shout out to that. And Day Before. I am a big Mac Miller stan. He is the greatest white rapper of all time, easily. Like, he runs away from that. Sorry, Eminem stans. He lapped that man a while ago. Yeah, I'm a big Mac Miller stan. So I really didn't expect this on this album. When this album dropped, and this dropped the same day, I haven't dropped the episode yet, but I want to talk about Mac Miller and Faces just being re-released on streaming. Well, yeah, that in itself, and I want to just move on before I start to go in about how amazing Faces is. The fact that I got his best mixtape and probably a top 5 mixtape of all time, combined with this album that had a feature from him on it, Mac Miller had a really good ass week. And you know what? Shout out to Young Thug. He had been sitting on this song for a while. I'm so happy that he saved it for a project like this, because this is the type of, it's a good quality song that they had, and it deserved to be on a good quality project, and that's what he did with it. So big shout out to him for that. That's a combination I didn't even think that I would really want to hear, but big up to Mac Miller, because that's one thing about him. He always knows how to come through and just make a combination you wouldn't think will work. The man's vault has got to be one of the most sacred vaults, just in terms of the stuff that's just stored in there ever. So it's beautiful. Big shout out to Mac Miller. Big shout out to Young Thug. Big shout out to the whole Mac Miller family. I already thought Mac Miller was great, but his family has been even greater throughout all of this. And big shout out to, and before I get, like I said, I'm getting distracted. Big shout out to Young Thug for putting him on this album and giving that man some shine. This song was recorded a day before the man died, called Day Before. It's like, he said it in the interview as he was promoting this. Sometimes you just don't question God. Sometimes God just sending you a message with some shit. And that's what it felt like with this one. But yeah, Punk is, this is really, I'm getting tired of saying this because I feel like I'm saying this every single time I review an album this year. This might be in my top 5. Actually, it's not even might. It is in my top 5. This was that good. Big shout out to Young Thug. This is, and I'm going to give y'all my final review score right now. This is a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 album. Young Thug did his thing. If you have not listened yet, go listen to it right now, because if you like Lil Baby, if you like Gunna, if you like a lot of these melodic type artists, especially with that Atlanta sort of sound, Young Thug is the pioneer of it. He's the one who put them in position. And you know what? He reminded everybody why with this album. Now, if you're like me and you have sensitive skin that requires that special bit of care, and you need something that's going to work a little bit better than just regular Vaseline or lotion, what you need to do is stop what you're doing, go to Instagram right now, and search up Body Butter. That's BODYBUTTAA. It's made by my homegirl Ashley. It's made using nothing but natural ingredients, and I'm going to tell y'all right now, the shit works like magic. It comes in men's scents and women's scents. She's got Summer Seduction, Vanilla Cocoa, and Baby Powder, and Gentleman Scents. She's got a whole bunch of summer scents that she's working on right now that are going to be coming out. It's just everything that you can look for in a good alternative to lotion or Vaseline, and it works like a charm. It makes your skin glow, it makes your skin glisten, and it'll last you for a long time. So if you're looking for something that's going to work a little bit better, that's going to make you feel even better, then you need to go and search up Body Butter. Once again, that's BODYBUTTAA. Works like a charm, and honestly, it makes me feel that much better. That is my review for Punk by Young Thug. I want to say thank you all again for listening so much. Again, if you haven't listened to it yet, go check it out. This is definitely my favorite Young Thug project by far. I didn't think he would top So Much Fun just because of how fresh that felt and just how many bangers that album had on it. He did. This, to me, if I had to just put a way to sum it up, this is like Beautiful Thugger Girls, the album he had a while back. I know a lot of people felt like a real country vibe from that album. I felt the same from this, and if you don't want to say country, you can really just say acoustic, because there's a whole bunch of guitar playing on this. It was really, really like he took that sound, or he took that energy that he had for that album, and he took the So Much Fun sort of vibe and everything. He combined that, and he just went to town. This is one of the most beautiful albums I've heard this year, especially in terms of production. So even if you're not a Young Thug fan, even if you're not trying to hear him do all the little vocal inflections and shit, I would definitely say check this out just for the production. But yes, that is all I have to say about Punk by Young Thug. Once again, 9 out of 10 album. I am not an easy critic to please, but I was definitely happy with this one. So once again, if you haven't listened already, go check that out. This has been your boy Germ. This has been Kinetic Aesthetic. This has been another Media Review Wednesday, and I want to thank you all so much for listening.